These are roots growing out on this elm over rock, hand carved. See more roots through there. So this is coming along very nicely. Really vigorous. And when I get a chance to cut the branches back and do the styling on the tertiary branches, this is really going to be a nice looking setup. I had the little accent plant that I had going with it, but I moved it to put it with another plant. So we'll see here in a second. And that's the little juniper right there that I set off with that elm. Why? Because I made them on the same day, basically, just about. But anyway, you've seen this before. I did a video where I initially wired that and put the gross movement in the material, and I think I might have shown it a time or two. Well, anyway, I finally got around to styling the branches and laying out everything. So now it's just a matter of letting these thicken up. This again is the old-timey juniper commonest, which was sold as the Sergeant juniper. It's a Chinese juniper, as it were, but it's not the shimpaku. These leaves, needles, however you want to look at it, remains a little more sparse, and the color overall is a bit lighter than the shimpaku. But there are some similarities in the way the needles grow. This needle, to me, is a little softer than the shimpaku. But anyway, that's the styling on it, and it's just a matter of letting it grow and thicken up. But to me, it looks nice just the way it is. And this elm, I had it just sitting out. It was fully wired, and I had to get in there under emergency conditions, urgent at least, if not emergency conditions, and remove the wire and do, I guess you can say, a gross trimming on this. So it was getting girdled somewhat by the wire, and so I needed to get that off of there as quick as possible. So that's shaping up pretty nicely. I have a little more wiring to do, like up here in the upper regions, but I'm going to let this grow back, and we'll see how that goes. And that's the big Chinese elm. I removed the wire from this yesterday, and in certain places I added wire, and I did a gross trimming on this, as I call it, hedge trimming. I just come in here and just clip junk. Not totally willy-nilly, but certainly it's not a refined trimming that I do. I just come in here and kind of clip branches out like this, kind of like hedge trimming, just to give a rough shape. And then I come back and trim for direction. And we want things coming out this way and going forward, except in certain areas where we're just going to fill in. And just like this branch right here, I can trim that back, but I want this to fill in here, so I'm not going to trim it to its final destination with the gross trimming. That's because you never know when I'll get back to it. So at least all of that will be there. It will start regrowing and filling in, and then I can still do what I want to do, like this branch here. You know, just in gross trimming, I'll cut that down some, but this will, because that is going up vertically and it's obstructing the branches and such back here, this will be cut down very low, and that branch, that little set of leaves, will continue to grow in that direction. So directional cutting is the next thing, but again, no big rush. I needed to get the wire off of this. As you can see, the plant is filled out with its leaves, and wires tend to get lost. You can see I've got wire on up here. Well, I only put this wire on about a month now, so it was not wired the rest, or when the rest of this was wired. So it has a while to go. And I also have a decision to make about the branching here. Like this large branch coming in this way, it is moving back and away from the design of the plant. So do I cut that out and make this the leader? Which I'll have to push that back a little bit, and then you can see that going that direction.